My pleasure.
Welcome to another episode of Sunday Brunch with Luke. Today I have a great surprise for me anyway. A friend from a long time ago, just kind of bumped into him on the internet this morning. So I introduce you to Paul Berger.
Hello.
Been in West Virginia for about 26 years now and making some good music. So I want to catch up with him, see where he's been, see what he's into, and just kind of get to know him again. It's been a minute. Back in somewhere around 2006, 2007, I had a little place called the West Virginia Biker Barn, and I used to do some fundraisers for Make-A-Wish Foundation and things of that nature, and had a band come down and play for me named Brother Short, and Paul was with them. I think I had met you. There used to be a place up in Clarksburg, Pizzeria Uno or something.
Clarksburg. Yeah, there was sort of a garage
Yeah.
feel. They had the big doors you could open up.
Right.
Oh, wow.
I think I heard you play there. Maybe the first time I heard you might have been there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I remember we played the band there.
Yeah.
That was a strange room. Wow. Like a huge garage is what it felt like.
Yeah, it was a restaurant with a garage attached to it that they used as a indoor seating area.
They just opened up 3 huge glass garage doors and made it an outdoor area.
It was a pretty interesting place. I enjoyed it.
And a shopping center, kind of.
Middle of the shopping center, for sure, on Bridgeport Hill.
Not the strangest venue I've ever played.
What is the strangest venue?
Oh, Lord.
Now that you opened that can of worms, let's hear about it.
It's been a long, strange trip, my friend. I don't remember half of them.
Give me the strangest one you remember.
Oh, my gosh. Well, actually, not too long ago, one was kind of fun. I played at the Cumberland, in a place called, I believe it's Dig Deep. Or the Deep End. Which one was it? I believe it was the Deep End. And I played at the end of the bar. When you walk in the door, you're looking down the hall, and here's the bar, and then turn to your left, and there's a little window over here. It's kind of behind the bar, but right there. I was sitting right there, and I had to play kind of like this, so I didn't hit the sides of the. So it's been all kinds of places, but mostly fun. Mostly fun. A lot of garage parties and small bars.
Well, just before we started filming, I asked you about playing mine. We got rained out one year, kind of canceled all the music, and you stayed behind to pick up the load and entertain us for a while.
There are people to play to. I can't leave them hanging, you know. Came all that way.
It was a wet evening.
It was.
We got absolutely drenched that day. It's a good time though, good memories.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
And I appreciate you being there.
Yeah.
I can't even. This morning when I first saw your name, I was like, I know this name. Had it completely mixed up with a different memory.
Yeah. And I remember the name too. I remember your name. I just where are Luke Sensen? I know I've met him before.
It's been so long.
Yeah.
So that's been 20 years ish. So you want to catch me up a little bit?
Well, I mean, I don't know what there is to catch up. I've just been playing gigs and raising my 17-year-old and doing what I have to do. You know, I've had plenty of different jobs and places I've been, but overall, it's just been a good ride. You know, I play every weekend when I can. I'm a lot in Deep Creek with different people every weekend, so it's
nice.
You know, I can get away with the same set for the past 20 years. No one seems to notice. It's kind of nice, but yeah.
Are you playing with anybody else now, or by yourself?
I've been doing solo a long time. Me and my little loop station. You know, I tell him what to play, he plays, and I play along. It's easy that way. It takes me 5 minutes to set up. You saw me plug this in.
Yeah, it was impressive.
And then all I need is just a little corner.
Just a little corner.
Yep. Get paid, make people happy, and go home. It's a fun day.
And you do more art than just musician.
Well, over the years, I guess, I don't know how, where it all falls in the timeline, but I've been a potter. I've had a pottery studio for 7 years in Morgantown, and I worked for Simon Pierce and made glass over in Mountain Lake Park for 7 years, and been a carpenter forever, and been with Hun Cabinets in Saberton for on and off about 5 or 6 years, steady for the past about three and a half years. But always making things, always building things. It's just Can't just not create things. A paper job wouldn't work for me. It doesn't work.
It does get kind of monotonous to try to
Yeah.
sit behind a desk when you got a creative spirit.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's why I'm working on this space. Hopefully this will be because I haven't really had a studio space to work in for a while. So
This is a nice one. It's a lot of space.
it is a lot of space, and to be able to do some, of my own podcasts and do some recording here, some music lessons and pottery and lessons on that too. Because why not? I'm also affiliated with the West Virginia Sound Foundry, which is in Masontown, West Virginia, not far from here.
What is that?
Basically a music school. They're a nonprofit organization, and they let me use their facility and help me find students and teach guitar and ukulele at the moment, but whatever else somebody wants to learn.
Sweet.
Coach you through it. So
That's great.
yeah,
That's great.
I hope to do some of that here too. I want to bring. There's a lot of musical talent around here. A lot of all kinds of talent. Tried to. Had a music festival. This is my T-shirt here. We threw this out. We had, just before COVID took us all down. We had a couple music fests out in the street. We had art music all from the area. Try to promote it. I was with the art center here in town for several years too, trying to promote the arts because hey, it's fun.
Absolutely.
It's good for you.
It's kind of art is what makes everything else go around. When people will go out and have banking jobs and all these other different kind of jobs, but they're always buying art.
Right.
Art is kind of the center of everything for me. It seems like I'm either buying music or buying art or looking at art or enjoying art in some way. So it seems like everything else we do in life is mostly to enjoy the art of life.
Yeah, well, I think creativity is key to being a happy person. I think we're born to create, and finding that avenue, that's something that makes you happy, that you can create with. I think it keeps you young. I think it connects you with your creator when you're creating.
Speaking of being young, I remember us both with dark hair.
I still have some dark hair.
I've got a little bit, not quite as much as you.
Hey, we still have hair. That's enough for me.
Well, I do still have hair.
Yeah, a lot of my friends have gone shorn.
I've given up and just just shaved it.
Too many bald spots. Blend it all in.
I've got some friends that have done the same. Yeah. So where's your where you're playing mostly around Deep Creek? You say
Deep
now?
Creek Lake is where I do. I began an open mic in Terra Alta, West Virginia, which is just up the hill here. Wednesday nights we're trying that out. They've got a real nice stage up there, sound system and everything.
And what's the name of that place?
It's called Shorthorns.
Okay.
And we're trying to coordinate between. So there's a place in Accident called Brewery and the Beast.
Okay.
They've got an open mic going on the first and third Wednesdays, so we're trying to ease into the second and fourth Wednesdays and bring some talent out and do that. So that's fun.
There's a lot of breweries, wineries.
A lot lately, yeah.
Everything seems to be going that direction. More that and more family atmosphere than the bars and stuff of the day that I grew up in.
Agreed. Same here.
We don't see that anymore. It's really changing.
I kind of like it. It's a lot less seedy.
Yeah, the things that happen are not quite as crazy as they used to be.
It was fun for a while when we were kids, and in '82 when I graduated, of course, that was in New Jersey, and that was the year they decided to hire a lot of state troopers and close down all the fun places. Bars on the lake that would have 2 and 3 bands playing at the same time on different stages. They no longer did that, which is a bummer because that's when I graduated. I had my guitar and I was ready to go. And where'd everybody go? It all just shut down on me. So I've been chasing that my whole life. Yeah, it's kind of funny.
That's it. A lot of things changed right around that time. We had a lot of, that's basically when we started having to wear seat belts, speed limit changed, all kind of things changed right in that 80s period. There was a lot of transitions happening at that time.
Yeah. Cars got ugly.
It's interesting to think.
So did our outfits. Everything was either square or way too fluffy. I don't know. It was
Way too shiny or way too noisy. The parachute pants you could hear
Oh my
coming down
gosh.
the hall for a
Parachute
mile.
pants. Members only. Yeah. Wow.
It's been some time.
I even had a perm that during
Did
that
you?
time, yes. After I graduated, I decided I wanted to, get my press shots done.
Thank God, I'd like to see a picture of that.
Yeah, no.
I looked through your Facebook. I didn't see a picture
not
of
there.
that.
You're not going to find it.
I did see pictures that made me like, oh yeah, I remember him now. That's just so great. I'm really giving myself a hard time about forgetting that name. It's just, it's not okay.
No, I mean, I know a lot more people remember my name than I remember their name these days. And I blame it on a number of things, but including the fact that I spend my time at least 3 hours at a time in a place full of people with my eyes closed most of the time because I'm just singing, and the big bright lights,
Yeah. I contribute mine to the years of drinking and smoking and doing the things I shouldn't do.
Yeah, I probably have to.
I think I probably have a little bit of, self-indulged problems there.
There's a few. It does happen,
Self-inflicted.
especially in this business.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I've forgotten a lot, but there's a lot of things I wanted to forget, so we're okay.
So we kind of talked there a little bit ago about the worst place you ever played, or the one that you remember.
Oh, boy.
What's the best show you remember? If there's one that sticks out to you.
It's kind of a hard call because I play for a lot of different groups of people. For me, it's everything from corporate parties to private parties to 5-year-olds' birthdays to 90-year-olds' birthdays to me, it's all special. There's I don't know. There's always something special about a gig. There's always somebody that hears one song that really means something to them, or something like that. And so they're all. It's always special to me. There's some stories that come out of a few special places. So like Dino's Tiki Bar in Hazlet, New Jersey. That was.
Any stories you want to tell?
Not really. All I know is I didn't die that night, even though they tried to get me.
Oh wow!
There's certain people that certain groups that like to profile certain individuals and see what they're made of, and I was very fortunate to have passed the test that night. So I didn't do anything bad.
That's a story I would like to hear the rest of.
Oh yeah, turn the camera off.
We will.
Yeah, right.
Wow. That's great.
But yeah, I mean. It's been a long, crazy trip. I was raised in New Jersey, and backwards, quiet kid. And to me, the coolest kid in school was my buddy Bill, who had a old beat-up Stratocaster with no pickups, and he would carry it all through school. He would just sit there with a little smirk on his face and just sit there and play. He had guitar face,
No pickups.
Yeah, he would just sit there and jam all day long. He ended up opening music school in New Jersey.
How's he done?
Did well for a lot of years. So, but I mean, guitar gave me a lot of. I always was a singer. Mom taught us to sing when we were little, and so when I picked up the guitar, it was like, hey, I could play this and sing. Wow, I could show off now.
You've done a lot of showing off over the years.
I don't mean to, but it's fun. It's fun.
If you got it.
Well, I've learned that the more fun you have, the better you are, even if you're not that good. If it makes any sense. If you're having fun, people enjoy that.
Absolutely.
So it transfers.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I got out of New Jersey. I met a friend named Doug who taught me how to ride a motorcycle. Got me a little Kawasaki and rode around a little bit, and that's when I left New Jersey because he took me out to Pennsylvania, and we met some people out there in Waynesburg. They had a concert they did every year called GNP, Gross National Product. And they come in, the alumni would come in from all over the country and spend 3 days together, put on a 4-hour show. And it was wild. It was a good time. And being from New Jersey, I wasn't used to a whole room full of really nice people. Sorry, Jerseyites, I didn't mean it that way, but that's, but yeah, they kind of blew me away, and I ended up going back to Waynesburg, where my buddy has a pottery studio in his basement. Learned how to do that for a few years. I ended up in West Virginia, and
you say you ended up in West Virginia. What brought you here?
So I met a lady in Pennsylvania who was also into pottery, and we hooked up and moved to Westover. Opened our own studio there and did that for 7 years. Then I joined the Brother Short band and kind of took a different direction in life. Spent 8 years with them, and yeah. And my daughter was conceived in '07, and that was my last year with Brother Short.
Okay.
And then I ended up doing solo work since then. Just had a couple things. I guess I had a duo with my friend Larry. He plays percussion. We did a thing, but as a lot of things are, that didn't really last too long. So.
Do you get down into the main part of West Virginia mostly, or do you mostly stay up here?
You know what? I travel enough between here and Morgantown, and I'm tired of driving. To be honest, I'd rather not go too much further. These days, the furthest I go is out to Cumberland. I've been out there to some breweries there too, and but it's still a lot of driving. I'm getting tired of the driving.
I hear you.
Yeah, I'm ready to settle in here and just make music and make stuff and let people find me, because as you've learned, the internet is the place to be.
Absolutely.
No matter where you are in the world, you can tune in.
And this space, I mean, this would be a great little listening room.
It's going to turn out, I think, to be a listening room. And with all the tables and chairs that are in here, I think it's going to be a great place to come and have games and maybe other artists to join me and just sit around and make things.
It sounds, I mean, just sitting here looking, I can see a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Sitting here, just great creative space. Just really couldn't ask for anything better than
I know.
this.
I'm pretty excited about it, and it's frustrating because I'm still working full time, and I need to tell my boss that it's time.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of cash, and then
well, I've run my own business before. I've been a potter and have my own studio, and so of course self-sufficient as a musician at times too. So, I know it can be done. And the wife wants to get into it. She likes to make things, and my daughter's been doing clay in school and winning awards doing with her projects and things.
Wow.
So, before she graduates and moves on, I want to hook her into making things in the studio, being her own person.
That's great.
Creating things.
So is her intention to go into schooling, or
she wants to go to school? She wants to travel. She's been in Preston County her whole life, and I don't blame her. I'd want to travel too.
I get that.
She's got an older sister and brother who, of course, moved on and moved out, and her sister's up in. She's in Boston.
Okay.
In Boston, so she's does a lot of traveling herself.
Yeah, it's more of those northern, not quite as friendly towns.
Yeah, but I think she's in a friendly town. I think it's a friendly place.
Boston's probably. I don't know as much about Jersey, to be honest with you. I have been to Boston a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The main thing I remember about Boston's last time I was there, it was like 20 below zero.
Ooh,
it was
that's never friendly.
cold. It did not feel friendly at all.
No.
People were nice.
Yeah.
They were dealing with an auction, and they were great, but the rest of it was a little too cold for my time.
Yeah.
I think it was first week of January, so I asked for it. If you're
Right.
going to go to Boston in January,
Yeah, it's north.
you should expect
North is
that you're
right.
going to be cold.
Yeah, you want to be in the South, West Virginia.
Yeah, West Virginia.
That's what they say.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm a northern boy, so I don't know where the lines are.
I used to have a bunch of friends in Massachusetts, and they called me a Southerner. And I had friends in South Carolina, and they called me a Northerner.
Right. So we're half-breeds.
I'm just down here in the middle, hanging out.
Right. I think I think it's the key to West Virginia. Actually, they're
out
just in the middle.
Yeah.
They're not out west where it's flat and all that stuff, and they're not quite eastern. They're not quite western, southern, or they're just kind of wherever all the misfits that didn't want to go with a particular clique ended up in West Virginia and brought their instruments with them. So
Just hanging out here in the mountains.
that's pretty much it.
So I don't have anything particular to talk about. I do want to hear you play some of your music, some of the stuff that you wrote, if you feel like that.
Let's see if I can remember any of it. You can edit this stuff, right?
I usually don't, but I can.
Let's see.
Mistakes are all part of life. This is all just as real as it can be.
Let's see if I can remember this one. I don't remember it that well. I've been lost and lonely, I've wasted time. I've sought the truth behind the rhythm and the rhyme. I've been made to wonder, and I've been made to feel. I've asked a million questions about what we're doing here. So many years ago, thought for sure that I would know what's going on. But I've been to the mountains, I've been to the sea, asked a million questions around what. I've seen that again. I've been to the mountains, I've been to the sea. I've seen the graves of those who paid the price for being free. I've seen the sunrise, I've seen the moon go down. I've been in cities and I've been in this small town. So many years ago, I'm sure that I would know what's going on. 'Cause I look back on my life, one surprise after another. Everything season for every will away. In the final hour, know that we will find the love we've waited for to ease our troubled minds. For so many years ago, I'm sure that we would know what's going on.
Even if we were a little rusty, I appreciate
90s. Wow.
That's been a minute then.
Yeah, I think it's pre-2000.
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty sure that was.
Good job.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I like it. It's funny how songs that song applies as much today as it did back then.
Yeah, actually, I've revisited. I forgot to mention another band I had called the Angel Patrol. That was in 1997, 8 when I first came to town. Met up with some people in Morgantown at the open mics, and we hit it off and had a band. We put an album together and had a bunch of songs on that too. But I think that was written just after that album.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I'm sure it's out there somewhere. This one I find very interesting for its content, visually, really. All alone. Actually, no, that's in the wrong key. Do that again. I'll get it yet. I wrote the thing, so I'm sure I gotta remember it. All alone in the moonlight, holding hands with myself. I'm gonna wait until it feels right for me and no one else. Lord only knows what's going on. Lord only knows what's going on. Watching people awaken and take hold of their dreams. The devil's stronghold is shaken. Can't you hear the screams? God only knows what's going on. God only knows what's going on. Usually use my number. Oh, it's already written. If we take the time to learn, let the fires burn. Oh yeah, beware the time. Watch the river burn. What's yours and mine? Got to rearrange. God only knows what's going on. God only knows what's going on.
Good
That can
job.
be found on an Angel Patrol album, if you can find an Angel Patrol album.
I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
There's a few of them.
Got to be on YouTube.
We made a couple of cases of them. A few friends have them.
I understand
Yeah, I
that.
believe they can be found somewhere. One of my bandmates, her name is Druva, Dhruva. She posted them. I can't remember where she was. It was live.
I'm sure it's out there somewhere. Somebody's had to have posted it by now.
Ooh, excuse me. Give another song. So, how's that one start? You remember the "What's Going On" song is a song that I wrote an answer to. It came sort of right after I wrote that one. It was as if I'd asked a question and it came back to me. Let me see about making this thing make a sound real quick. Yeah, it was kind of the answer to what's going on. What do you know? How to what you know? Thought after all these years, I'd have figured it out, and then that one kind of came right after it. Like, all right, I'll wait.
So sometimes there's this old verse that comes back: "Be still and wait."
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I'm in a be still and wait formation.
Yeah, most of my life I feel that way. You know, I just figure. You know, I read something the other day that in a spiritual way, life doesn't really start until about 60.
Oh, well, I've still got some time then.
Yeah. The thing is that a lot of us give up by the time we're 60. You know, a lot of people are on their way, like, oh, heck with it, we'll just retire and fade off into the distance. You know, and a lot of people do that. And they quit their job that they identified with their whole life, and they sit around and deteriorate, and they're gone by 70. It's horrible. We were born to live a lot longer, I'm sure. Our scientists say our DNA says so. So, you know, we're supposed to be around a long time.
So how long are you going to live?
I'm shooting for about 200. I figure it's a reasonable amount, and they say that you can. The Bible says so. The physicist says so. So, you know, what the hell?
I'll be long gone, but it will have been nice to have known you, Paul.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. If we're really one spirit, then we'll see each other again.
We're gonna live forever somewhere, right?
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah. No, I'm fascinated by the science today. It's science has finally caught up with the ancient mystics, where you know what they tried to explain in mystical terms has come together. What physicists are discovering that consciousness controls physics, controls everything. It's all on a subatomic level. A particle doesn't exist until it's being paid attention to. And when they've discovered that the tiniest particle, when it first begins, is a fluctuation in the matrix, in the energy field that we are. It looks like yin and yang. It's the beginning of circling around and swirling until the frequency increases to the point where it just looks solid. So everything is nothing. It's an illusion. It's kind of messing my head up a little bit, but I'm fascinated by it. Somebody, this is my latest listening to that explained this. Somebody channels another entity through a human interpreter, basically. His explanation is that all creation is one particle moving so fast that it weaves everything that is. Like, you've seen a laser show where that one dot creates all the shapes and everything. Well, apparently that's what our experience is that.
So that's the matrix we're living in?
Yeah, and every one of us is a pattern that is built into that. It's a holographic pattern. It's what do they call those spirals that repeating patterns that become larger items and things like that. It's just I can't remember the name of it, but fractal geometry.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it's fascinating to me. I'm you, you are me. We are that machine over there. And it's all one particle moving through consciousness at such a speed that it feels like we're in a place doing a thing.
Very interesting. YouTube has opened up a lot of that stuff for me. The ability to find information and all those things is so much more available now through YouTube and things of that nature than there ever was before. The amount of education we have available to us today has just never been this way before in history.
Oh, I thought I was recording. That's fun. Mentally just spill out stuff and just
Go
play
for
it
it.
back.
So, you're with everything you're doing here in this space. Did I understand you're doing the clay?
I'm going to be making clay things. Hopefully, I've started to work in a little bit of glass fusion with that, so I want to try to do some clay and glass. Hopefully, get myself a bench torch too, because I want to try that stuff real bad. I learned how to be a glass blower at Simon Pierce, and it's fascinating, but it's hot and very expensive to work at that level. But my pottery teacher, Mr. Craig Roberts from Greene County, evolved his art into miniatures. Okay. So I always thought it'd be really neat to take those glass Pyrex tubes that they use for bench glass and make miniature pieces similar to Simon Pierce makes. Like,
do you have anything here you've made from glass?
I don't have anything here that I know of. Actually, there might be a container somewhere. I know. Did I bring? Usually have something in my pocket. Yeah, I have this piece. This is actually made of multiple clay bodies. I just kind of put them together, and that's glass that I put into there, crumbled it up.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, thank you. It's fun to play with clay, and it's mud, and you goof around with it until something comes out that you like, and then you cook it, and then you'll be there 1,000 years and somebody digs it up out of the ground.
I like it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fun to do. A friend of mine found a bunch of colored glass from a factory that closed down at the auction, and he had a truckload full of it. He gave me one milk crate with enough glass to make 1,000 of those. Oh, wow. All different colors, yeah.
Wow, that's neat.
The sun's creeping into your eyes. I see
yes,
that.
It is.
You might want to
yes, it most certainly is.
Scoot forward a little bit, maybe.
Scoot out of the sun just a
Here
moment.
you go.
There we go. So, when do you think you'll have space up and running? And
oh well, it's almost there now. It's ready to do. I think now it's more about my availability because I'm committed to the job. My boss has a bunch of clients, and we're making a lot of cabinets. We're down to a skeleton crew. There's me and two other fellows manufacturing, and he's in his office making plans, doing all this stuff, and so I'm gonna have to let him know that the time's coming, and I'm trying to segue into it because I want more students. I've got just 2 students right now that I'm teaching, but I'd like to have at least a dozen people that teaching and get in here for a few nights and start making things, because once you start manufacturing, and clay is amazing because once you start, you're just making things. It's fun. You sit there, you'll make 2 dozen pieces at a sitting. So, if you're serious, you can make a lot more than that, and then before you know it, you got merchandise all over the place, and you got to start selling it. So I'm hoping that this space will be invite the public in, and there's a lot of people that are losing their way around here too. There's always been a lot of people with no direction, and they end up in drugs and other kind of things, and if they had a couple of good conversations and something fun to do, like playing with mud, it might give them something else to think about. So I'm hoping that this place can turn into something like that, because we all deserve a chance. And so that's why I want to call it The Difference, because everybody that's having trouble feels different from everybody, and I'm different, you're different, we're all different.
It makes a difference.
Right, so if we're all different and we get together and make the difference, we are the difference, be the difference, make the difference. This idea kind of came to me that way.
I like it. Yeah, I'm excited to see you doing something like this, and I want to come back when you get it up and running.
Cool.
When you have some stuff going on, I'd like to come back and do a little video and see what's happening.
Nice.
See some of your students.
Yeah, I'd love to have something to show off. Music's given me so much. All my art that I've done has given me so much in my spirit that at this point, at 62, you want to give it back. You want to see other people happy. You watch their faces change when they stick their hand on a piece of clay. It's crazy. I used to demonstrate at festivals, and you get a crowd just standing around. I'm making a mug, for Pete's sake. It's a pound and a half of clay, and I'm going like this, and it goes from flat to this tall. And they're like, oh, like it's magic. It's just clay, guys.
That's great.
It's a lot of fun.
That's
a lot
great.
of fun.
I don't think most people realize that pretty much everybody has some creativity to them.
Oh, we all do. I believe we're born geniuses, and we're told differently. My kid's any example of that. She's doing amazing things, and we just don't let her be discouraged. If she's having trouble with it, she could choose your path. Do you want to keep going? Do you want to try harder? Do you if it's not for you, it's not for you. We're not going to. And boy, she is doing amazing. And she took up figure skating this year.
Wow.
And she skated for the first time last year for somebody's birthday party just before they closed down. Bow Park has a skating arena down there in Morgantown.
Okay.
And they closed for renovations. So she had to go through the whole season, waiting for this to happen. They finally opened in September, and Milan Park opened another one too over in Morgantown. So that was two skating places for her. And by gosh, she's out there skating, just doing her turns and picking her feet up and balancing and doing all the moves and watching the Olympics and watching YouTubes and spinning around through the house. She's like taking it on like she's born to do it. It's crazy to watch.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You got to be proud of her.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing to watch her. I love. I can stand there and watch her ice skate, and every time she goes around, she's better. Like, why? What are you doing?
That's great.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Obviously, you're a proud papa.
Oh yeah, I love my kid.
That's awesome.
Supposed to. Thank
you. Yeah, I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
We hope we love them anyway.
Yeah, well, I hope she picks up the good parts, not the bad parts.
Absolutely.
Because nobody's perfect.
Wow. This has been fun. It's been fun just to catch up and just to find out where you are and what's happening in your life. And wow, we both put some age on and some years and some life experience since we hung out.
Yeah, and you look back and you wonder about a lot of it, but
was it all necessary? Would we do it again?
Well, I found that everything that you do for a good reason, no matter what happens with it, comes back. It comes back because somebody gained, even if you go in and crashed and burned, but you were trying to do something good. People are watching. People will see what you're doing, and just keep on going, keep on doing the good things.
That's awesome. What do you want? You mentioned a podcast. What do you want to do your podcast on?
Basically, I just want to perform, and write more music, and bring other musicians in and hear their stories, kind of like what you're doing, and share that whole thing because, no two of us have the same experience.
Oh, absolutely. There's so much good music in West Virginia, and you're right here on the state line, kind of.
Yeah.
And here close to Morgantown. What's good that's happening in Morgantown with music lately?
You know what? I don't even know. To be honest with you, I've been so busy, raising my kid and working, and just happy to have gigs, wherever I can, and that's enough for me to keep up with, really, And but what I'm noticing is that there is music coming back. Of course, everything went crazy in the music scene until leading all the way up to COVID, and then it was like, all right, just everybody go home, just forget it, everybody leave, just go home, and for quite a few years now, it's been a decimated industry where you can't even get people that know how to serve, much less manage, work in those places. So it's been a lot of chaos. But for the first time, I'm seeing rooms full of people getting together again and wanting to go see live music and wanting to do things together. So I feel like it's a chance for us who have it in us to do that, to share it together.
Absolutely.
Because we need it.
Over the past few years, I've seen more and more grassroots music, more people that are playing their own music, and I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see people being creative and doing their own thing.
It's actually been a challenge for me because as the scene goes back, the less experienced management of places are seeing an influx of people who they went home and they picked up their guitars or pianos or fiddles or whatever, and they discovered they have an act, and now they're it's competitive, and there's a lot of people out there playing, so it's even challenging to find the gig sometimes. But there's so many more people playing it. You got to take that with a positive, aspect, because artists have not been promoted the best over most of my life,
especially not West Virginia.
Well, yeah. So seeing that come around is pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Pretty cool.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything else that I haven't asked you about that we should talk about? We, by the way, are at Monroe's Restaurant in Kingwood, West Virginia. We appreciate them letting us use this space,
Yeah.
and please
Excellent
support.
restaurant, probably the best
please
thing in
support
Kingwood as far as food goes. And, yeah, he's an old school guy too. He made it through COVID, and he kept his staff paid and kept it going. So you go upstairs and eat here. It's an old school. It feels like the old days when you eat here. So you have servers that know what they're doing, and you get good service, and the management things. It's good. It's hard to find anymore.
Good food's important to find.
Yeah, but service more than that. You know, people
Absolutely.
have forgotten what that's about. I think because a lot of places you go, there's nobody remembers. You know, and they're full of attitudes and whatever, and you don't get. You know, they take care of you, and you want to leave a tip because you know they took care of you. That's what that's all about. People tip your waitresses.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
very important.
Yeah, you'll get better food.
They got families to feed. They got children to raise.
Right.
It's
And it's
it's
a
very
tough
important.
business.
Absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely. Well, Paul, thank you.
Good.
I appreciate
Pleasure.
this so
I
much.
appreciate you coming all the way
It's
up here just to
been great
sit with
just to
me.
catch up and sit and talk and find
Yeah.
out about what's happening.
Right on.
But thank you for joining us for this episode of Sunday Brunch with Luke. This one's been a little different, and I'm excited to be different. I never want to keep everything the same. It's been an absolute pleasure to come to Kingwood and catch up with my old buddy Paul, and maybe we can get him down to Fayetteville or Summersville or somewhere like that and get him to play a set for us soon.
Nice.
Thank you so much for joining us for this another episode, and we'll see you next time. Have a great week.
God bless.
Thank you.